Hi there, everybody. Midlife Synthesis here, or one-handed synthesis now. For those of you who haven't been following the channel lately, I recently shattered my shoulder in an accident. I had to have surgery. I have like 8 bolts in here, so like I'm basically a space marine now. Been living in pain and agony and sleepless nights for about 2 weeks, but the good news is I'm on opioids, so my energy might be a bit different today. The thing is, doctors tell me I won't be able to use this arm for a very long while, so guitar and bass are out of the question. Complicated piano playing also out of the question, but thankfully, we have sequencers and we have synthesizers, and thank God, because I need music to get better. So today I just want to share with you the joy of music making in its simplest form, just how happy it can make you and how it can lift your spirits, especially with bad times such as this. So this whole thing started out because I'm learning the Oxi Coral and the Oxi Meta. As you might know, I'm a huge fan of the Oxi Instruments 1, which is an amazing sequencer, and I got sent these from Oxi Instruments to try out. Gracias, Manuel. The thing is, I've been kind of reluctant to get into Eurorack because I've never really been able to wrap my head around the idea of having to buy multiple modules just to get the same thing I can get out of a, normal full synthesizer. But the Oxi Coral is a bit different because this thing is kind of like the equivalent of a Groovebox in Eurorack form. It's polyphonic, which is a pretty big deal in the Eurorack world. It also has multiple synth engines and you can play them apart from each other. Like, I'm going to do a full review on it later on, but now I just want to show you where I started off. I'm using one of the engines here, and what's very cool is you have a lot of on the panel access to knobs to start tweaking out your sound. That's always cool. So you have timbre, harmony, morph, filter, too much filter, resonance, filter envelope, pretty basic attack, decay, sustain envelope, as well as mod envelopes. So in terms of Eurorack, this thing's like very loaded. And what's very cool about it is that if you pair it up with something like the Oxi, you can actually start modulating a lot of the internal parameters. So right now, I'm just gonna do some simple modulation. I have my CV1, the blue one, going into mod 1. Mod 1, I made this pattern that I drew out, and I'm gonna stick this in the filter. Let's see how that sounds. Immediately gives it more movement. And my second CV is going into LFO1. And LFO1 is just a basic triangle, a little bit of a mount, and we're gonna stick this into the morph and see what that sounds like. Nice. Now, it's not only that it has multiple engines, it also has multiple effects. So I have a chorus and a reverb. So I'm gonna go into the secondary function here. Instant joy. I mean, you could jam out just on this thing, but there's more. I also have the Meta. The Meta is pretty much everything that I've always loved about the SP404 and the Octatrack combined into this little module. Basically, you have these effects. It's insane. You have a reverb effect also. A filter. DJ style, a riser, I really like that it has this off button because you can start like really gaining up on the effect and just subtly cut it out. And I think that works very well with transitions, which I hope that when I can use my other hand, I'll be able to, coordinate. So please bear with me if it isn't a perfect transition, but you'll get the idea. The other thing that's really cool and very SP404-like, looper. And the gate. The other thing that's very cool about the gate effect is that when you switch it all the way to the left, it'll make that kind of faux kick. I'm not sure if that's like a proper kick, like something that's kicking, or it's just like the way that it's gating it. I'm not really sure. And finally, last on the chain is the Magneto, which is a whole world of delays, which I haven't even begun to dip my toes into. So I'm only using it to add just the tiniest bit of flavor. Just a pinch. Now, that by itself, the whole programming of that was both easy, fast, and extremely fun, which is something that I really appreciate because Eurorack has always kind of seemed daunting to me. So I'm off to a good start, I think. Let's hope that this thing doesn't turn into like one of those walls, you know? So I came here to one of my cozy places. I was either going to go with the MPC or with the Push. And since I already used the MPC on my last video, I thought, let's get back to the Push. So the first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to make a sequence in here that was kind of like an arpeggiated bass, you know, something to give it like kind of a chord progression or note progression to follow with the sequence. So this is what I have until now. The next part has some drums, but I want to use the meta to do a transition into that. So let's try that out. I'm going to use the gate effect. I mean, that sounds like a party to me. I know the sound itself isn't like right there yet, but it's just having so much fun with this thing. So now I'm gonna have some fun with the other effects, but I'm gonna turn down the drums a bit. Give it some reverb. Now we're gonna go into a bit more spacey part, less drums, right? And I'm gonna play around with the loop. Delay. The loop. Magneto. Gator. I love it. Now that we have all this mess going on here, the last ingredient, just to finish this off, is my lovely Sub 37. I love this thing with a passion. So I set up an audio track that the only thing going on here is just a very, very simple reverb. I'm gonna turn off the reverb. This is the dry sound. I have an LFO there to give it some movement, but if I turn on the reverb, Sub 37 never disappoints. It's beautiful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see just how cool this thing sounds just by tweaking the filter a bit, which is, I'm gonna try to play with this hand and tweak the filter with this hand. Let's see how it goes. Oh man. This is why I do this. I love doing this, and I'm so thankful that I still get to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for helping me build this and keeping me going. Thank you for all your support, all your kind comments. I really appreciate it from the heart. This is the reason why I'm here. I just love being able to make this music and play around with these sounds. I'm so lucky to still be here. Remember, if you're at all interested in the Oxi One sequencer or the Coral, the Meta, any of the modules, remember that I'm affiliated with Oxi Instruments, so you can get a discount on any of your purchases using my affiliate links. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you found this video useful, or at least entertaining. Have a great week, and see you next time.